Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode. I'm here doing a post review of the WWE Warrior Rumble, which just concluded just a few minutes ago. We had 100% hot action from start to finish, including to the women's Warrior Rumble and then including for the men's. They both delivered from start to finish and did the best they possibly can when it comes to putting on a great performance. The women's one was kind of a little lackluster towards the beginning of the pay-per-view. I felt like it was kind of like mad from my own personal opinion. But towards the end of the men's Royal Rumble, then that's when things started to pick up from my personal point of view. Tonight's card we had the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and the Fatal Four Way. We had the men's Royal Rumble, the women's Royal Rumble, and then we had the United States Championship, which was Logan Paul taking on Kevin Owens, and which was a decent singles match from start to finish. Had no complaints when it come to that whatsoever. Overall, were you guys satisfied when it came to your winners? I would love to know directly from my viewers over on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Feel free to throw a like, comment, subscribe, or even share, or even shoot up to my YouTube channel as well. Appreciate you guys taking your time of your day to come through and show your love. For the most part, let's get directly into tonight. Tonight started off red hot with the women's Royal Rumble. We had some nice little debuts, and also we had some nice returns as well. We had ended up having Jade Cargill, the phenomenal. Was basically she's the new star on the block. I consider her a superstar, a made superstar. When it comes to her directly, I have no complaints when it comes to Jade. Jade's phenomenal. And then one little touch they put to it, they let her keep her theme directly from AEW, and now she's making her presence directly in WWE. She's a star in the making. And from my own personal opinion, I would love to see Jade versus Bianca this following WrestleMania over in Philadelphia. I think that would be a phenomenal match to see. Just from my own personal prospect, we also had a return of Liv Morgan, which made her return as number 30. I know a lot of people were anticipating for it to be AJ Lee for number 30, but in overall, it still was pretty decent just from my own personal view. The final six for their women's Royal Rumble was pretty decent from what it was. It started off pretty cool for what it was. Directly, we ended up having but also another woman we ended up having making her debut was from TNA. We ended up having Jordan Grace. She did a phenomenal performance, just making her debut directly in the WWE. So I see that they're making an open relationship and making an open door when it comes to TNA and WWE. I like the kind of little touch. Maybe they keep this as a tradition every single year. We get somebody who may be currently holding the Knockouts Women's Championship and being able to be on display at WWE directly. It was kind of a little disappointing as well for the men's. I will love to have seen Moose, but you know how things go when it comes to WWE. You never know who's going to make the appearance directly. But overall, it was decent from start to finish. The A+ star of the night was Chelsea Green. She basically knows how to entertain. She kept everybody invested, and pretty much you couldn't go wrong directly with her whatsoever. Um, and also we ended up having a Mia Yim. She ended up Michin. She ended up making her return back as well. Also, we had R-Truth make an appearance, which is kind of nice little comedy skit where he came down and he thought it was evolving to the men's Royal Rumble, but we ended up having him getting thrown over and getting eliminated by Nia Jax. It was kind of hilarious. And Adam Pearce had to direct him and let him know, like, hey, this is the women's Royal Rumble. You need to come back out later directly for the men's Royal Rumble. The final six directly came down to Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, and also Jade Cargill, Bailey, and Bianca Belair. Those women were phenomenal the way how they carried themselves. It pretty much kept the fans somewhat lackluster. For myself, I just lost a little bit of interest when it came to how they booked it. It was too many botches going throughout the match, and I wish it would become better over time, the way how they directed and how they pull forward when it comes to the women's division. But the fans just wasn't into it directly. The biggest pop of the night was Jade Cargill. Bianca got a big pop. Liv kind of could have got a big pop, but fans were anticipating AJ Lee once again. As the eliminations went down for the final five, It was down to Tiffany Stratton attempting to eliminate Bianca, but of course it reversed it, and then she getting eliminated by Bianca Belair. Also, we ended up having Liv Morgan trying to eliminate Bailey, and then of course all that sequence went to tosses and basically back and forth between each other. And then of course Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill and Bailey ended up being the final three, as the other ladies were eliminated. And we ended up having a new women's Royal Rumble winner. We ended up being Bailey. It was highly predicted. I feel like she's a cornerstone as to being one of the pillars of the one of the four horsemen who have been doing a phenomenal job. And I kind of like that they're doing the direct direction with Bailey. It was kind of odd from my own personal view. I would have thought it would have been Becky, so they could set that match between Becky and Rhea, and then over the line, Becky, not Becky, but Bailey getting into a feud directly with Damage Control, wherever that sequence and that tension would have been going from there. But they kind of keeping it, kind of doing a little tug with us and kind of keeping us in the dark what's going on when it comes to the main event after a couple of Bleacher Reports and a couple of leakers were trying to pull up themselves and try to get things underway of trying to spoil the card when it comes to WrestleMania, but directly they're basically trying to switch it up a little bit since now they have Vince McMahon leave, and it was kind of a little frustrating to how they were developing themselves and how they were putting everything on display. But congratulations to Bailey as being the new Royal Rumble winner, and hopefully she make her choice sometime soon this following Friday SmackDown, and we'll see what she goes there. Maybe she'll be going for Io, or maybe she'll maybe pulling up on Bianca, not Bianca, but Rhea Ripley, or she'll be making her way to NXT. We don't know where they're going to go with the storyline on that, but I always appreciate the direction that WWE is doing with the new Dream with Hunter, the way how he's been handling everything, and how he's adjusting, and how he's keeping everything all the calm, cool, and collective when it comes to the ladies directly. Um, Roman Reigns, the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, he was in the Fatal 4-Way. He had a direct match when it came with LA Knight, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles. This is a nice, decent match back and forth. And they put on a clinic. They did the best they can when it comes to presenting themselves. And it was kind of phenomenal. It was kind of great the way how they put themselves on display. And I really enjoyed every single minute. Sort of, somewhat. I just felt like it was just deflated. A lot of people already knew what the results were when it came to the ending of the match. If you guys did watch the match, you already know exactly what happened. But overall, this match was a decent 20-minute match back and forth. We had an interference from Solo Sikoa, but of course, everybody put on a lackluster, and Roman Reigns ended up picking up the victory and retaining the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. The long-term booking is they're still pushing to the stars to WrestleMania and still keeping that longevity reign going as being WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. For the most part, I want to know from you guys, one of you, if you guys are tuning in, would like to know how you guys feel directly about this push when it comes to Roman Reigns directly. Are you guys getting bored? Are you guys looking for change? I would like to know directly from your opinion. Comment down below if you're directly on any of my social media platforms tuning in. I'd like to know from your own personal view what you'd like to see happen, or some new things that go on down the line directly. Moving forward, we ended up having the WWE United States Championship match. This one was pretty decent from the night. This is probably my best match of the night when it came down to Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. They did the best they could when it comes to put on interference and kind of put a little swerve at the end to keep fans invested and keep the title on Logan Paul. So in my opinion, I figured they were going to try to keep the title directly on him if it was fitting for him, because we need somebody else that I feel that may be a better fit when it comes to taking the title from Logan Paul. For myself, I think it'd be LA Knight. I think he'll be the perfect person that put in that prime spot to face him at WrestleMania. So we'll see where the storyline goes directly when it comes for WrestleMania directly. But overall, this match went back and forth. It was a lot of twists and turns. Logan Paul really was focusing directly majority on Kevin Owens' hand majority of the time, which was kayfabe broken. And they really put on the match directly. They did the best they could to keep everything invested, keep the fans interested. much as they can, but the fans were just really deflated after the both matches. They were just was not having it, and we need a better crowd when it comes to those matches. Those boys did the best they could to try to keep everybody invested, but it just wasn't up to par as to where it could be. We know it was a great match, but the fans just were just not invested whatsoever. But the conclusion of the match was pretty decent down to the wire. We ended up having a couple interferences from Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and also from a couple outside interferences, which we had Grayson Waller ended up giving Logan Paul the brass knuckles, but then of course it was countered by Kevin Owens, and then Kevin Owens ended up getting the brass knuckles, ended up hitting Logan Paul, and was going directly for the pin, but ended up the referee was counting for the 1, 2, and then he saw the brass knuckles, then he disqualified Kevin Owens for having the brass knuckles. But of course, Kevin Owens was trying to explain himself directly, straightforward of what happened, but the referee just was not hearing it. So it's going to be long term burping. They most likely probably going to end up going at it again directly, just coming up with elimination chamber. But we'll see what goes on for the most part. But congratulations, Logan Paul, for still retaining the United States champion, and we'll see what the next events and turns go with this whole Kevin Owens storyline, and you never know what can happen from there. Moving to the final match of the night, it was the men's Royal Rumble. I know a lot of people had a couple of their predictions of who they thought were going to make their appearances, and they were throwing a whole bunch of names directly on social media, including MJF. They were talking about Sean Spears. They were putting a whole lot of names out there, including Matt Cardona. A lot of those guys did not make their appearance tonight, but the people that they had, Hunter selected to be in his Rumble, it was pretty decent. Judgment Day did the best they could when it kept things vested. Our Truth had a nice spot when it came to being involved in it and kept the fans entertainment. They finally picked it back up into the men's Royal Rumble. We saw all the action and intertwining of everything that was going on directly. And from there, we ended up having a couple of returns, which was Andrade, which was nice to see him return. And then, of course, we ended up seeing some people return, including Omos, who was missing for a good little while after he had his match with Brock Lesnar. And we haven't seen him for a good while since last WrestleMania, and he made his return as well. And, of course, we ended up seeing Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso going the distance as performing himself to the highest degree. He lasted almost 56 minutes when it came down to the wire, but he ended up getting eliminated in the long run. He was the Iron Man of the night. And of course, they did have a couple highlights between him and his brother Jimmy Uso going back and forth. So I see that they're probably going to end up making that match for WrestleMania this coming up WrestleMania season. Um, the majority of the match was pretty decent. We had some nice little hot spots, including Andrade coming face to face when it came to Santos Escobar. We also had Drew McIntyre trying to redeem himself. CM Punk was involved as well, which was a nice number that they had him picked into. We had Cody go the distance. He pretty much wasn't at the end. He pretty much fought his way through this following time around the corner when it came to directly to the Royal Rumble. And then it came down to the wire to the last final 6 competitors. It was that engaged into a good battle. It was Sami Zayn, it was Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and Cody Rhodes. Pretty much they all did a nice showcase down the wire. Everybody one by one is getting eliminated. Punk eliminated Drew McIntyre. Gunther ended up getting eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Majority of the match towards the final 2 was Cody and CM Punk. They put on a nice display. They kept the fans highly invested. I really was enjoying this back and forth as they were going for a solid good 10 minutes going back and forth between each other once everybody got eliminated. And they were doing the best they can, trying to keep the fans invested, trying to keep hype everybody up, trading blows back and forth, including with lariats and clotheslines and everything in between, including signature moves, including Cody hitting the Cody Cutter and the Crossroads. CM Punk doing an homage to Triple H hitting the pedigree. He hit it. He hit once GTS. He tried to do it again, but then ended up getting eliminated by Cody Rhodes as he hit a crossroads and countered it directly and was able to eliminate CM Punk as they went down to the wire. As Cody Rhodes ended up becoming a two-time WWE Warrior Rumble winner, back-to-back winners. We haven't had this in a long time since Austin and Rock. And congratulations to him as he made it point clear. He was celebrating directly in the ring. He made his point across. And of course, we saw Roman Reigns in the balcony with Paul Heyman. And he pointed directly, making a straight point clear that he wanted Roman Reigns to finish his story. Cody Rhodes has a long road ahead, pretty much all the way up to it. Now he just got to finish it and get it done and seal the deal and become the man, the main actual main face of the WWE. I'd like to know what your predictions are when it comes to this following matches. Comment down below if you're coming from Twitter, Facebook, or even YouTube directly. I always appreciate you guys coming directly through to show your support. If you're a fan of professional wrestling, I would love for you guys to chime in, let me know what's going on, and I will reply back to you guys at my earliest convenience. All the while, this was a pretty decent show, but at the beginning, it was pretty like meh, kind of lackluster. I wasn't. A lot of people weren't invested. A lot of even myself, I just felt like I was just getting bored towards the beginning of the women's Royal Rumble. Then the main event just was just way too predictable. Fans were just already deflated, and they just was not invested. Um, but I'd like to know you guys' opinion. Who would you like? What matches would you like to see this following Royal Rumble, including up to the upcoming Elimination Chamber? I would like to know what matches would you like to see? What storylines would you like to see become invested? And comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys are always loved, and I appreciate you guys coming through and showing your love and support. And keep doing your thing. And I appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.